So, speaking of our program, let me turn it over now to one of my all-time favorite Milwaukeeans, Corey Zetz, who's the Executive Director of the Menominee Valley Partners, who will introduce our speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Halloween. Many of you will remember a time about 20 years ago when the Menominee River Valley was littered with abandoned factories, a forgotten river, and its most dominant feature was the old Milwaukee Road shop site, 120 acres of lake that was the gateway into Milwaukee from the west. The city of Milwaukee took an incredible leap of faith back then, acquiring the land and holding on to the vision that this quintessential Rust Belt site could be transformed into a model of both economic development and environmental sustainability. Within a few years, fast forward through all the controversy and hard work and everything people did, site selectors were here in Milwaukee, representing an international company in the green energy industry, looking for a North American headquarters. They were attracted to this area because of the area's really strong manufacturing supply chain. In fact, we were just talking about someone who was part of that selection process at GenMet back in the day. And then also because of the site's story of transforming a brownfield and contaminated land into this sustainable business park. And that story really meshed well with the sustainability ethos of Ingeteam. And when Ingeteam made the decision to move their North American headquarters to Milwaukee in the Menominee Valley, it was really heralded as a new chapter in Milwaukee's manufacturing history. A global manufacturer of wind turbine generators, it demonstrated that Milwaukee was a place for the green energy industry to grow. And that story has continued to evolve. Ingeteam this year just announced it would also produce electric vehicle chargers here in Milwaukee. And Ingeteam's Milwaukee facility was in the national spotlight this year when President Biden came to celebrate the anniversary of the IRA and the green industry and the jobs created right here at Ingeteam's site. So this afternoon, I am delighted to introduce my friend Garan Chivinski, who is in his official capacity the human resources manager at Ingeteam, but I know he also plays the community relations, public relations, presidential visit, logistics director, just all around go-to leader for the company. Garan is a Milwaukee transplant from the East Coast. You can still hear some of that New York accent. He's been working in Milwaukee for 14 years. He has a really interesting career path, starting at Joan. He was the security at the Milwaukee Public Library when he first got here. He's been an elected official, an HR leader today. And no matter what role he is, Garan always leads with a passion for community and employee engagement. So please join me in welcoming Garan to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. That was a magnificent introduction. I do not speak in public, one of the many things that I do poorly, but I hope that I can convey some of the genuine emotion and some of the beauty of the story that we want to tell. But people like Corey, I mean, that's very much what is so exciting for me, to be able to take these opportunities when they come up unexpectedly to represent the company and hopefully to build those warm networks. And yes, I am very impressed that to wake up this morning and to see snow on the leaves. I was born and raised in New York. I've been here for 14 winters, and I can tell you that this is only the third time that I have ever seen snow on foliage. And the first time was in Siberia, and the other two times were here in Milwaukee. So that's a really good choice on my part. But thank you for coming no matter what. I am very appreciative. I'm going to kind of rudely read these a little bit, so just bear with me. So I really do want to tell you a little bit about Ingeteam and why we chose Milwaukee for its headquarters. It's North America headquarters. And the virtues of driving what is undeniably becoming Milwaukee's clean manufacturing golden age. This is the official introductory slide for Ingeteam. As you can see, it appears to have been written by and for engineers. And I would like to deviate a little bit as the HR guy and tell you the story as I see it. From the unreliable perspective of an inexpert narrator who is absolutely not an engineer at all. So don't be disappointed by my lack of detailed answers about engineering. And though this is all factual, my interpretation is absolutely not official. If anybody's familiar with the Basque people of northern Spain, you may know that they predate the Indo-European migrations and their language is unrelated to any other on Earth. For 24,000 years, they have inhabited a beautiful but often unforgiving bit of coast, hemmed in by the Pyrenees Mountains, Atlantic Ocean, and trapped between the ever-competing empires of France and Spain. Through their history, they have sought to perfect and protect what they had at hand and to make bold explorations when necessary. As a result, they served as Magellan's navigators, started the first oceanic whaling fleet, and turned their limited agriculture into one of the finest cuisines on Earth. Antonio Bourdain trained in San Sebastian. I think they have still the highest per capita number of Michelin-starred restaurants in the world. And they were one of the first regions in Europe to industrialize. For an example, in Basque cuisine, each family may have spent generations perfecting a single type of pepper. I include this history as one possible way to understand the culture and mission of Ingeteam. Brilliant engineers going far abroad, determined to find prosperity without destroying or even renewing what is underfoot. By 2008, Ingeteam had spread throughout the world, but as Corey said, not yet into the United States. This was the time that I moved to Milwaukee, at the bottom of the financial crisis and after decades of deindustrialization, leaving polluted scars across the region and especially in the Menominee Valley. In its previous golden age, the valley was seen as the industrious beating heart of Milwaukee and home to some of the most vibrant and culturally significant products, breweries, etc. It served as a connecting bridge between agricultural heartland, the city, and world via the Great Lakes. After its decline, it became the fetid eyesore, loudly proclaiming the death of the Rust Belt and reinforcing the dividing lines between some of the most segregated neighborhoods in this country. The excesses and short-sightedness of the previous age, literally and figuratively poisoning the land, water, and surrounding community. But some of the leaders of the valley had a bold vision to restore the valley and make it a clean and welcoming place, with family-supporting jobs and dedicated to the promise that the new manufacturing golden age would not have to be as filthy, extractive, or exclusive as the previous one. Attracting Ingeteam as a renewable manufacturer from Europe was emblematic of that master plan. It was difficult, but successful. I like to think of the scrappy, but strategically undeniable valley, looking for an opportunity to brush off its dust and start again, meeting up with innovative and nurturing Basque company, searching for the purchase in the new world. A perfect marriage of soil and seed at exactly the right time. And this is what was built in Ingeteam at Milwaukee's Menominee Valley. For 10 years, it has been the only place in the United States where wind generators are built. We also, that's what it looks like, the generator, if you're able to see it. We have solar PV energy, battery energy storage systems, green hydrogen, the pumps that can raise the fresh water at the Hoover Dam are Ingeteam pumps, and marine motors and drives. The littoral combat ship at Marinette Marine, the Constellation class, will have Ingeteam engines and motors on it. And of course, our wind service divisions and our newest and latest that we're hoping to bring in a big way are world-class fast chargers for electrical vehicles. So yes, that is a somewhat dry part of the presentation, briefly covering some of the products and services that we have in the U.S. But this video tells that you'll see later tells a story about the engagement and passion and vision to make the world in our neighborhood a little bit better at every turn of the screw. These are the reasons that Ingeteam chose Milwaukee for its North America headquarters. MSOE, Marquette, UW-Milwaukee, MATC, and many others. As an HR manager, this is my strategic base. Creative and diligent faculty and students with some of the highest youth employment participation rates in the U.S. A dignified culture of work, bar none. These folks are, in my experience, excited by the idea of working for a higher cause and want to leave their community and planet healthier when they are done with it. Wisconsin's long tradition of labor unions was historically critical for development of America's safety nets and the working middle class. I believe that this tradition helped to inspire and reinforce the pride that people in Milwaukee have for those who work and for those who manufacture. There are many places where this is not the case. Despite setbacks, the union culture is still remarkably strong in Milwaukee. None seem more vibrant than the one that represents our production employees at the IBEW. Our positive relationship with the IBEW is invaluable. Ingeteam is a small company from far away. IBEW is immense, highly capable, and very well connected. Their resources are far greater. Why would Ingeteam not use their resources in a mutually beneficial manner? Furthermore, for its manufacturing branches, the IBEW follows a code of excellence. This is the idea that to assure the union's workers' ongoing prosperity, the company must also prosper. And that requires quality of work and mutual problem solving. As one steward explained, our clients pay a premium to have their generators made in the USA. If they open up the crate and see shoddy work, how are they going to feel about that extra cost? There aren't enough trade rules in the world to protect us if that's the case. We need to impress and earn that premium. These are the groups: Menominee Valley Partners, M7, MMAC, IBEW, Renew Wisconsin, Blue Green Alliance, who helped Ingeteam engage the community and economy around us to succeed in the U.S. Folks who have had the vision and have been working on this for years, laying this groundwork. This is what Milwaukee's clean manufacturing golden age means to me. A fresh attempt at a hard-working prosperity. That makes the city pretty great in the past, but refreshed with new wisdom and earned wisdom. Stakeholders are still here: labor, educators, civic leaders, private business, and with continued bold leadership, they won't allow this to be undermined by political stagnation, pollution, and the staggering loads of environmental injustice. All the strengths of the first golden age are still here, wiser for their mistakes. Ingeteam has had the good fortune to be invited to this event. This video is the most elegant expression of our story. It was done by the Evergreen Action, a nonprofit climate group. They had seen an online feature about Akinlana Abdallah, our repair specialist at the time. They wanted to make the video and happened to be filming the day that Marty Walsh came to visit.
The technology that Ingeteam has and has developed is a significant component worldwide. The technology that Ingeteam has and has developed is a significant component for the worldwide.
Buy America.
The drive is a very simple technology.
Yeah, it really is talking about creating an economy also that creates good, clean jobs.
Here, this is Akinlana.
How are you? Nice to meet you. How are you?
Akinlana, he's a leader. He embodies what the IBEW Local 2050 and a Code of Excellence stands for.
Somebody who can serve the community and cares about our mission, bringing clean energy.
So, AK, this dude is my hero, man. Seriously.
My name is Akinlana Abdallah. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I'm a repair specialist for Ingeteam with wind turbine generators. Oftentimes we use the word job. Job is a temporary thing that people tend to transition through pretty frequently. from a union worker's perspective, it's more of a career that you're looking for. I'm comfortable at the fact that I could be here 20, 25 years if I choose to. And I never have to regret what it is that I'm producing.
Pairing the Ingeteam's mission, AK's skill set, and the Inflation Reduction Act, we are projected to be a leader once again in workforce development and manufacturing.
When they go in there, he'll know. I write on here that what I put it in the system. So I'll put stator 0.39. Splatter. Milwaukee has always been an industrial town. We always had industry here. Back in the days, there were companies like A.O. Smith, especially when America still had a stronghold on the steel industry. So we would see car frames and things like that sitting in the community. It was just commonplace. A lot of friends and family retired from places like that.
Deindustrialization hit Rust Belt cities really hard, but no harder than what happened in Milwaukee. A.O. Smith employed 7,500 black union workers, and after those factories left and went overseas, we've seen a decline in union paying jobs, and we've seen a decline in people of color representation in unions. So with what Ingeteam is doing here with AK, his ability to train folks, his ability to recruit folks, it helps tip the scales, and it helps to restore what we've lost.
As industry is rebuilding here, it's a breath of fresh air to have this type of industry coming to Wisconsin. To rekindle that history, assisting in the proliferation of green energy, I think it's absolutely astounding. We're gonna need to put it on there anyway. I was raised in the inner city here in Milwaukee, but I never lost my love for the outdoors. What we build with wind turbine generators, it allows me to make a great living while knowing that the product that I'm putting out the door is going to help to preserve spaces like this. And that has to be the future of industry. We had the opportunity to host the Secretary of Labor for the United States of America.
This is a big part of what the future of America is. Made in America, they're making products right here, manufacturing right here, clean energy right here, good jobs right here.
No matter what career you're in, somehow, some way, green energy will be necessary to power your organization.
Clean energy jobs are now going to be the fastest growing sector in this country.
Ingeteam is growing rapidly.
These are union, good-paying, family-supporting jobs.
It's the perfect job to get into. From an equity perspective, putting folks to work, saving the environment is really important.
I am absolutely proud of the work that I do at Ingeteam. I'm lucky to be a part of a great union, to work for a great organization that's part of a bigger picture that helps to produce green energy. We are the model for what industry can look like going forward. I look forward to being here for quite some time.
The shared dream was beyond satisfying, and we did not think we would be able to top it. However, Marty Walsh's office told the White House that it could be worth President Biden's time to visit Ingeteam and the Valley and Milwaukee. You may have seen in the news, in August, Biden did so. I'd like to show a brief clip from the White House's Twitter page.
You guys are the best in the world. You deserve to get paid. You deserve to get paid. You deserve a union wage. Hey guys, how are you? Good to see you.
So union members here, we're manufacturing the wind generator. Ours is the unit that creates the energy in the wind turbine, which then goes out to the electrical grid. We have over here the electric vehicle charging station.
Yep.
So later this year, we're going to start manufacturing that.
That's a
in
big
this
deal.
facility right here.
This is going to revolutionize what we're doing. 500,000 charging stations. That's a lot of charging stations.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of jobs. You guys are the best in the world. I mean, you really, truly are. It's not like you say, I want to be an electrician. Say, oh, man, here you go, man. Go at it. Give me a break. There's 4 or 5 years of apprenticeship. It's like going back to college. It's like going to graduate school. People don't get it. They don't understand how damn hard you work. You guys are doing a hell of a job. I really mean it. I told you I was going to be the most pro-labor president we ever had. We're doing it. Thanks. I really mean it. Keep the faith, guys.
Sorry. As HR professionals, we are often desperate to find ways to show employees recognition. How about having the President of the United States coming to your workplace in person to tell your employees directly that they are the best in the world? And regarding the dream of Milwaukee's clean manufacturing golden age, what could be a greater validation for Ingeteam, the Menominee Valley, IBEW, educators, civic leaders, Renew Wisconsin, and so many others who would not abandon what made this place so special in the first place. I'm excited to be witness to this story. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks for telling us about the company. I'm just curious, could you give us a little color on what you had to go through when the President of the United States showed up at your plant? Because I know it couldn't have been easy.
No, I would be happy to do so. So on a Thursday, they called us up at like 11 o'clock and they said, this is the White House, President Biden wants to come on Tuesday. Yes or no, you have 1 hour to decide. The advance crew is on their way. And that was real. That was true. Like, that's not an exaggeration. So it was, 4 days of unbelievable teamwork, incredible stress. I cannot believe that the White House advance team, the Secret Service, all the folks who were involved do that continuously as a full-time job. That is mind-boggling to me. I'd be dead if I ever had to do that again. But the cool part is that they, just to talk about those infungible human parts of it. One of the things that I had to do as the HR manager was I had to deal with all the volunteer crews. And the White House said, we need 25 volunteers to stand post these various things, do certain tasks during the day. It's an important thing. Typically, we do this all the time. If you ask, you need 25, you need to ask 60 people because half won't want to do it and the others won't show. So I thought that was amazing because to me, I would never miss an opportunity to, regardless of the administration, to see something like that, right? It seemed amazing to me. But he said, no, trust us. It's always that way. You're going to need to ask at least 40 people. So I asked for 40 people through the organizations that I described in my slides. Menominee Valley, Clean Economy Coalition of Wisconsin, Renew Wisconsin, Blue-Green Alliance, et cetera, et cetera. We are, actually Miller Communications was involved in the effort. 38 out of the 40 showed up. The White House had never seen anything like that. That's the level of social engagement that we have here. That's incredible. That is absolutely, I still get chills thinking about having those folks coming down the driveway, people like Corey, to come and be a part of this. To have the leader of the free world stop in and to validate exactly what we hoped we were being a part of. And to be there to enjoy it, to spread the news. It was the most exciting professional thing I've done, despite the mind-boggling stress and the fact that I would never do it again.
Hi, I'm Tim Hunter. I've got an engineering firm here in Milwaukee. And so this is kind of a weird long question, so sorry about this. Our previous governor, I believe within his first week or two of office, he signed legislation that made it impossible to site wind towers within the state of Wisconsin. And that was about the time you guys showed up. So I don't know if that legislation has changed, but are there any sort of wind tower projects going on in Wisconsin? And how do you guys feel about the whole situation?
So as the HR manager, I've been there for 2 years. I'm not necessarily an expert on it. I don't want to speak too far out of my line of sight. But there are wind towers around, obviously, in the state and a lot of other states. There's many things that need to change in Wisconsin legislature. Renew Wisconsin is an incredible, valuable, kind of good guy lobbyist here in Madison to help craft those laws. Clean Economy Coalition of Wisconsin does similar things to advise the current governor on the kind of community solar projects that really to make Wisconsin have full use of the clean revolution. That said, yes, there are. We don't have any particular projects for service or like here in Wisconsin. Ironically, I can't say that necessarily any particular governor's fault per se, but each state has come across these things differently. I can only imagine what it's like for our European owners coming from Spain, where you have one king and one set of laws and royal decrees, to be able to come in, because that's literally what they call them. I heard in workforce safety is royal decrees. To come here and have 50 is just mind-boggling. It's a feed day for lawyers. Are there lawyers here?
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm curious from an HR perspective, what is recruitment like these days? Are you hiring a lot to do all of these electric charging stations? If you could speak to that, that would be great.
I can absolutely speak to that. That takes a huge amount of my time. I actually just got to come from the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Summit in Appleton. I could tell you that we have the same problems that everybody's having across Wisconsin and across the world. 2.4 open positions being advertised right now to every one candidate. That's unbelievable. I cannot imagine the sheer amount of money that big marquee companies with huge advertising budgets can throw at attracting those students. I have a budget of zero for that. Zero. But this is the stuff that makes me compete. This is the stuff when I say that my strategic base is MSOE, UW Milwaukee, Marquette, and so on. I absolutely mean it. I go in person because we're close enough to walk from our plant to every single event. I know the career folks by name. They know me by name. I'm trying to show them that we are a company who's doing good things and we are exciting and we're getting these validations and this cool story to tell, and kids are responding. They want to be a part of that. They truly do. When I first started here, we had just a sign that said Ingeteam, and people didn't know what that was. I didn't know what Ingeteam was when I started 2 years ago, and we were able to get a new tablecloth that said Ingeteam, and I put on the bottom renewable energy. And I get a line of kids down the line. We're the most popular table anywhere we go because of that. This generation genuinely wants a mission. So I can't imagine what it would be like to not have that under my arm as a small company.
Thank you for being here today. Quick little bit of shameless plug. Amy Jensen, I'm with the Water Council. We are a recipient of one of the National Science Foundation Regional Innovation Development Awards with a number of partners. We are working with, we're focused on water, energy, manufacturing, resilience. So I'd love to talk with you more related to that because everything Ingeteam is doing aligns so well with that. But my specific question is, what does Ingeteam do locally, but then worldwide in terms of that innovation piece? Innovating its own products. How do you approach that, and particularly locally, what's involved?
Great question. And thank you for telling me about your group. I believe I got to meet a couple of your colleagues at the Wisconsin Economic Summit. Fascinating. And thank you for what you do. I can't wait to get to know you. Globally, Ingeteam does most of its research and development in the Spanish heartland, right in the Basque Country. That doesn't mean that we don't have huge amounts of creative things going on all the time here in Milwaukee. but it's we do a lot of process improvement, things like that. We do local, corrections in order to make everything work in the U.S. When things come back for repairs to our repairs department, Mr. Akinlana Abdallah that you saw in the video, that's where a huge amount of creative effort goes into problem solving on those incredible items. A couple of things that we're doing currently with those U.S. Navy projects. That's a very close marriage of people with big ideas in government, private sectors, on both sides of the Atlantic. It's amazing to watch just from a few doorways down. There's so many people who want to get involved and contribute. It's mind-boggling. There's no dearth of magnificent ideas right now. Even from an HR perspective, I get to meet everybody, people all over, and I'm constantly amazed by the good ideas that people have, or the things like groups I never even heard of that have been organized and doing beautiful things like Kid Win Challenge, which was organized in Wisconsin through a Department of Energy grant. So MSOE, they can have teams to come and make the most efficient wind turbine, so that you're having those STEM kids come build those early design skills, so they can stay here in Wisconsin and keep those white collar jobs and blue collar jobs viable for this future workforce.
Hi, Tim Hunter again. So hey, I'm a member of the Rotary Scholarship Committee. So we've got a team of students, that we keep going through college, and then we give them scholarships. They're always looking for internships and co-ops. Would there be a good opportunity for them to reach out to you guys?
Absolutely, absolutely, without a doubt.
All right. Okay, Melissa, got that? All right. All right.
Thanks, Garan.
Thanks.